Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video and happy Friday. Two things, excuse me for my hair being wet, which has always been the case in almost every video I film. It's because it's a Friday morning and so I just got out of the shower. And secondly, my voice is a little bit scrappy because I'm a little bit sick, so if I'm coughing throughout this video or I sound a bit nasally, I'm very sorry about that. Today I wanted to make a one-on-one video and sit down with you guys again because it's been a little while since I've done that, because I've been being on holiday and then having two recovery stories. By the way, there probably will be another recovery story next week. And I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to talk about, and I felt like one of the most important things that I've recently discovered, or I guess had as an insight, was just how much I continue to do well on my own mental health journey. I was talking to one of my clients this week who kind of talked about this distrust or mistrust around when you've been doing so badly for so long with your mental health and then suddenly you start doing well, that you can have this voice in the back of your head going, this is too good to be true, or like, when's the next thing gonna happen? And I remember when I had that voice say that in my head a couple of years ago, and at the time I was actually doing really well, and I was doing really well because I had zero anxiety about having a relapse too, which I've talked about too in previous videos. And I just realized this week that I haven't had one single mental health relapse in probably, like, I would say 4 years, 5 years now, 4 years, 5, I don't know, like somewhere between 4 and 5 years, which I'm really, really happy about. And it doesn't surprise me, it doesn't shock me. I know exactly why this is, and that's what I want to share in this video today, is I guess my key tips and tricks of how I stay on track with my mental health journey to feel not just okay, but to actually feel good and happy and have mental health, how to have mental health, because everyone's always saying how they are struggling with their mental health. But I guess this video is about how I really stay on track with feeling mentally healthy and continuing to feel better and better and happier every single day. And so the first and most important tip, or the first and most important thing I realized, and I think this must be, I feel like I have 4 pillars, and this is one of the most important pillars, is that having good mental health is not about not having negative emotions. And I think that's the most important thing I ever realized about mental health, is to be mentally healthy and to be happy in life does not mean you don't feel sad or anxious or depressed anymore sometimes. And so this week I was walking in the woods and I realized, like, I had this bit of anxiety in my chest. And I didn't even really notice it until after like 30-40 minutes in my walk. And that's a very good example of how I keep myself mentally well, is I have zero adverse reaction to emotions anymore, negative emotions. I see emotions now as a necessary processing of my heart reacting to the world and reacting to things that happen in life that I have zero control over. And so the number one thing I would say that I currently really do to stay on track in my mental health journey is welcome and allow every emotion that needs to move through. And instead of being in the emotion, I am the peaceful observer of the emotion. And so it becomes possible for me, or it is very possible for me, to smile and feel relaxed in my nervous system, and at the same time feel anxiety or feel sad or feel angry. And it's because I truly allow those emotions to flow through, and then they also pass a lot quicker, which then makes more room for longer periods of happiness. I'm not like super obsessed with feeling good all the time anymore. And I think that's why I feel good all the time or a lot of the time. The second thing that I wanted to, I guess, add as a little bit of follow up on the first pillar is continuing to educate myself in mindfulness. So, you guys know that one of the things that has helped me the most in my journey from recovering from depression and eating disorder, DPDR, anxiety, is mindfulness. And mindfulness is such a broad term, but what I think when I talk about mindfulness, I basically think about anything that makes me understand my mind in a way that it also makes me feel more in charge of creating peace. So I never saw learning about mental health as a means to an end. I see it as a passion. I see it as something I love. I am literally listening to new audiobooks or podcasts or reading new books still to this day, and I've been on this journey for 5 years. And so the reason for that is because there's no end game to this journey. You have to fall in love with the process of getting there, and with learning about mental health and learning about mindfulness. And then your mental health becomes a natural byproduct of that, rather than if you see it as a tool to fix yourself. And then when you're fixed, you stop doing it, then you're always going like this. And that's something I see happening for quite a few of my clients sometimes is they try to practice tools like mindfulness as a way to feel good, and then when they feel good, they stop doing it. For me, I do it on the days I feel good. I do it on the days I don't feel good. It's really something I have just fell in love with. Sorry, I've had to switch to my laptop because my phone died. So, to finish what I was talking about, there's two more pillars that I really value when it comes to my mental health right now. The third one, I guess we are at now, is routine. And routine consists of many different things. But what I mean with routine is um, I have a set routine that I've wired within me so strictly now that it doesn't feel like work anymore. It feels like I actually just really naturally want to do these things, and these things are all amazing for my mental health. So, one of the things is waking up early and going to bed early. I used to be a night owl. I used to stay up late, especially when I was in college still. But now I've really come to love my mornings. And so I prioritize my sleep. I get 8 hours of sleep every single night. And I go to bed quite early. So usually that means going to bed around 10:30, waking up around 6:30. Also on weekends, by the way. So I don't try, well, I sleep in on weekends sometimes, but to not really have that much of a difference between my weeks and my weekends, also to keep my rhythm going. Sleep is one of the most important things for me when it comes to my mental health, but also my physical health, which brings me to the other part of my routine, which is exercise. I try to get some exercise in every single day. That can be running, that can be going to the gym, that can be going on a walk with my dog, which of course I have to do every single day. But just being outside doing exercise has been a part of my routine consistently for the last 3, 4 years. And I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't had a mental relapse in so long. It's because no matter how I'm feeling, if I'm having a good day or a bad day, I always, always go outside. I always move my body. I always get my sleep in. I always eat healthy or try to eat as healthy as possible. And these are little things that you might not think have a major impact on your mental health, but just the fact that my brain knows exactly what to rely on and that I can rely on myself to do things that are really good for me keeps me confident, keeps me feeling good in my body, keeps me healthy in my brain as well. And so having a routine has been super, super important for me. Um, And it just, you know what it is too? Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're anxious or you're not feeling quite well. And what I used to do on these days was just kind of let my head hang. And usually that would then turn into a bad day, which can then turn into a bad week, which can then turn into a bad mental health period. And because every morning, no matter how I'm feeling, I wake up, I get out of bed, I go outside with my dog, I do some type of movement. By the time that I'm finished with that, my whole mood is always shifted. Always. You never feel worse after moving your body. You never feel worse after going into nature or going outside. And so that's been one thing that I've really been able to rely on. And I think the last part of my mental health pillars for you is quite an important one that I don't think is talked about enough, which is selfless service. So being of service to other people through my channel, through my work, I think has been one of the things that has kept me mentally just thriving. We are here to serve. We are here to be of value, not just to the ones close to us, but also to people or to the world in some type of way, which doesn't mean you have to do great, amazing things. It just can mean that you put yourself of service to other people so you feel like a valuable part of this life. And to make other people happy is what makes me happy. Like truly, I don't think there's anything that makes me happier than putting a smile on other people's face. Um, and I think that's part of our mental health that isn't talked about enough. So for me, obviously, what that looks like is my job and the work I do, but also I've been thinking of kind of starting to do more volunteering projects again, which is what I used to do a lot when I had a bit more time, because I just realized how good it makes me feel too. Apart from the work that I can do for others, it makes me feel really good, and that's also just part of what my mental health consists of. And so if you don't find that in your job, I would advise you to try volunteering, try working in like in some type of little local project where you can be of service to other people, because it's really important, I think. So I feel like this is the most important stuff that I wanted to share today. I hope you guys enjoyed it or got some insights from it. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week for hopefully another recovery story. Bye.